Hello everybody. I've got a little bit to tell you about Dr. Jekyll. Um, the truth about Dr. A. Fauci. Dr. A. Fauci is Satanic Freemason Illuminati. Now, when he comes out, watch what he does with his hands. Now see what he's doing with his hand? He's putting it inside his coat. Freemason. What did I tell you about Pence when he accepted that coin? Freemason. Freemason. Okay. Weasel face. That's what he is, a weasel. Satanic. I mean, I can't stand him. He's freaking, even his grin makes me sick. All right. And self-pronounced follower of the Jesuit order, which is a satanic cult that has affiliated or infiltrated much of the world, including more than 2,500 U.S. schools. Jesuit order has paid billions in lawsuit money to victims for satanic sexual abuse since the 1940s.
All right, I want to talk for a minute about this sickening article that was in our local newspaper. I'm sure a lot of you out there have already heard of this, but I want to just point out a couple points on this thing. So let me show you about this. All right, here we have the Faith and Values section of our local newspaper. This is Saturday, March 26th of 2011. And over here, we have the Jesuits settle in sex case. Now, why is this in the Faith and Values section? Here's a story about a couple who lost their son years ago. He was martyred. And over here you have the guy writing about the Westboro wackos, which they shouldn't even be giving them people press, whatever. Just ignore them, they'll go away. But why is this in the Faith and Values section? Okay, that's kind of weird. But I want to show you something here, which we're not going to go over the article. You can look it up online. But I just want to show you something here, just to show you that there are different rules for Catholics than there are for Christians. And yeah, I said that right. Catholics are not Christians. Attorney Blaine Tamaki said the priest who molested Vargas and about 100 other children, 100 children this pervert molested, has not been charged with a crime because the statute of limitations in Washington state is so restrictive. Molested 100 children and he was not charged with a crime. That's the power that the Jesuit order has. And it's interesting, they keep referring to the order in there. Here's a article from CNN Belief blog. Okay, Jesuits pay record $166.1 million in child abuse case. Let me zoom in here. It says 470 people were sexually and psychologically abused as children by Jesuit priests from the 1940s to the 1990s. 470 people. But you say, why aren't these people talking? Well, I'm going to tell about that later. But jump down here a little bit in the article. It says, Jesuits are the largest order of Catholic priests and are considered the most educated in the priesthood as they run prestigious universities. And that's not just Catholic universities. They infiltrate Protestant, quote-unquote, Protestant universities as well. Most of the abuse occurred in the 1960s, so many of the alleged victims are now in their late 40s and early 50s, Tamaki said. And again, I'm going to talk about why are these people not talking. I want to say about that in just a little bit. Look at this. None of the 57 Jesuit priests accused of sexual abuse by the victims have been charged with any crimes. None of the 57 Jesuit priests have been charged. Are there people that are above the law? You better believe it. The Jesuits are. Next page here it says, Lawrence was in 3rd grade when the molestation began, allegedly by a priest and a nun. It's not just the priests that are perverts, it's the nuns as well, who worked with the Jesuit missionaries, according to Tamaki. These are Native American and Alaskans, by the way. And this is the 3rd largest case. I think there were 2 other cases where the Catholic Church had to pay out millions and millions of dollars because they're just molesting kids by the millions. Disgusting, sick. Before he died, Lawrence provided a statement for Friday's press conference. The nun or one of the brothers would send me to the rectory to see the priest. He would give me candy or call me special, and then he would molest me. They all did at various times, his statement said. All did. They all did. This isn't an isolated incident either. Lawrence said that he was scared to tell anyone because all of the boys were told repeatedly that men of God don't talk. We were scared that if we uttered even one word, we would go to hell, his statement said. You know, for a while I just thought it was that these priests were just perverts or pedophiles, forced celibacy, that's why they're perverted. I think it's more than that now. I think it's actually satanic ritual abuse. I think these Jesuits and these Catholic priests are purposefully molesting children. Because you see, what does it create? What did the article say? What did it say here on CNN's website? You know, mainstream media. It said that the people were afraid. And it took some of them 40 or 50 years to come out and tell the truth. You see, the Catholic Church is about instilling fear in their people. That's what it's about. It's about, you've committed a mortal sin. You've lost your salvation. You're excommunicated. You're damned to hell. You're anathema. That's the system of Roman Catholicism. It's a system of bondage, of fear. And what better way to scare someone than to molest them as a child, and then to tell them, if you tell anybody about this, you're going to go to hell. And you take them, you put them into the confessional booth. First you get some things on them that you can use so you can blackmail them, and then you take them in and you molest them and you say, if you tell anybody, you're going to go to hell. You know? But it gets even worse than that. I'm going to tell you why I believe it's true satanic ritual abuse. Let's look at a couple of these wicked Catholic catechisms. Now let me show you some of the wicked writings of these satanic devils. Here you have 2 catechisms basically for children. This one here is, you know, my first communion catechism. You give this to little kids. Okay, and this is the New St. Joseph Baltimore Catechism. This one is also designed for children. But let me show you here first what a good Catholic is taught about their priest. The priest takes Christ's place. Isn't that disgusting? And you say, well, that's just one catechism. We don't, you know, the Catholics, oh, we don't believe that, we don't believe that. Yes, you do. The ordained priest takes the place of Christ. There you go. The Holy Mass, yeah, Come on here. The next bookmark. Christ our high priest in heaven, the priest on earth, another Christ. Interesting, because Jesus Christ warned in Matthew 24 about men coming and saying, I am Christ, and deceiving many. There's your devil worshiper right there. There's your Satanist. These men are just the most foul, most wicked creatures on the planet. What we see, what we should think of. It's not really the priest up there. It's Jesus Christ himself. Isn't that disgusting? And by the way, think of how stupid this whole thing is really. Because the priest just consecrated the host and the wine there, which is supposed to be the body and the blood of Jesus Christ. And yet, their system is so idiotic that you have, the body and the blood here, but this guy's actually supposed to be Christ. Doesn't even make sense. It's not supposed to, because it's a system built by the father of lies. And look at this. The church always does the will of its divine founder. Oh, really? So, this over here, church always does the will of its divine founder. Is this the will of its divine founder? Paying out $166.1 million to hundreds of Native American and Alaska natives? Is that the will of its divine founder? How do you reconcile this stuff if you're a Catholic? How do you line this up? Your church is not legitimate. Your church is not Christian. You are part of Satan's church. And by the way, I should add, if you're a Catholic out there and you're protesting, well, we don't recognize those as being authoritative and all this other junk, right here in the front of both of them, it says nihil obstat imprimatur of the Archbishop and all this other garbage. This is official Catholic literature right here. Nothing objectionable. So sorry, but you do believe in these things. And by the way, it says here in the front of it that if you pray this prayer here, you'll have an indulgence of 5 years. 5 years less time in purgatory. And if you, for teaching or studying Christian doctrine, an indulgence of 3 years. For reading the Bible, an indulgence of 3 years. So you get the same for studying this garbage as you would for reading a Catholic Bible. Just ridiculous. But again, the system of fear. Even if you're a good Catholic, you're going to have to go to purgatory and you're going to have to burn for a while. Why would you be part of this? Well, maybe because you're afraid. You know, this isn't of the Lord. You know, it has nothing to do with the Bible. I mean, the Bible doesn't even teach most of this garbage. It is so disgusting to me to think of men and even women, the nuns there, you saw that in the article, molesting children. They truly are Satanists. Okay, a lot of people have this funny notion that Satanism is Anton LaVey and the Temple of Set, Michael Aquino, and the Order of the Trapezoid and all that. That's the flesh. Okay? I'm sure that they worship Satan in their own little way and all that stuff. I know about them, whatever. But true Satanism is found in 2 Corinthians 11, I believe it is, where it says that Satan appears as an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers appear as the ministers of righteousness. A true Satanist is in churches. Okay? Right there is your true Satanism. This is far more evil than the Satanic Bible or anything else. Why? Because this kind of stuff appeals to people into the millions. There's over 1 billion Catholics out there. And why are they staying in a system of child molestation? And, you know, there are full-grown women that are being molested too, and teenage boys and things. Why are they staying in it? Because it's a system of fear. It's a system of bondage. And if you're out there and you're watching this and you're saying, well, I'm a Christian, you know, but I still go to the Catholic Church. You need to get out of that system as quickly as is possible. Leave. Get out. That thing is so filled with devils. Man, you're crazy to go to a Catholic church. I wouldn't be caught dead in one. The Lord is going to be returning soon. The Lord Jesus Christ. And He's going to be pouring out His wrath on this wicked, wicked planet. Okay? This is so vexing to me to think of little children being molested by Catholic priests. And it's been going on for centuries. Very, very disgusting. It just, man, my blood is boiling. And, it's just going to keep going on. Why? It's not, like I said, it's not about a thing of they're just perverts and that's just, kind of a thing they get tempted there. No, I actually believe it's intentional. I believe that they are intentionally molesting children to bring them into a system of fear. And really, if they're good Catholics, they believe that it wasn't a priest that did it to them. They believe that Jesus Christ molested them. That's what the Catechism teaches. That it's not the priest, it's Christ. Get out of that Catholic Church. And these Vatican versions and things that I'm always attacking, people wonder why I attack the Catholic Church so much. Right there's the reason why. Satanic ritual abuse being performed by Jesuit priests and nuns and regular priests too. Just disgusting. The wrath of God is going to be poured out on Mystery Babylon, which I believe the Roman Catholic Church is Mystery Babylon. I have a sermon on that on Sermon Audio if you want to hear more about that. God's wrath is coming to the Catholic Church. He's going to put an end to this disgusting nonsense very, very soon. So, if you see anything Catholic, man, run away from it. Get away from it. Bad stuff.
Here are some links for reference. It gives a link there. This stuff is not new to me. I have known it a long time. Dr. A. Fauci gives infamous speech in the first Jesuit university in the United States, Georgetown University. Dr. A. Fauci gave the infamous 2017 speech preceding pandemic during Donald Trump's first term president, seen below. And Machine Monkey is absolutely correct about some of these people that are on here with these T-shirts and these things. Oh, I think God is laying it on your heart to give money. Who says that? Who says that? Now, I know some people that have watched some of these evangelists, and they have problems with them. I have big problems because they do the same thing to trick people out of their money. And also, that's Satan, because money is the root of all evil. I have been born poor, so I'll survive it a lot faster than a lot of these other people. Now, see, YouTube took a video down because I called Fauci Dr. Frankenstein. He's exactly that. The new army of Satan, the Jesuit mission, and the formation of public opinion in Elizabeth, England. Published in 1643, this vivid pen portrait in the guise of a witty Theophraston character encapsulated cluster of long-standing assumptions and anxieties about the notorious religion order founded by the former Spanish soldier Ignatius Loyola. Remember when I was saying that I have nothing wrong with the Hispanic community, and I do not, but a lot of them are Catholic. That's just the way it is because that's where it was founded. Plus from Rome. The Romans are the ones that killed Jesus Christ. And the people that killed Jesus Christ were part of Esau. And Barabbas, I believe, was an ancestor of Esau. Commissioned in 1540 as a Society of Jesus. It gave graphic expression to a sobering stereotype of a diabolical deviance and Machiavellian villainy that had crystallized the English Protestant imagination over the course of the previous century as elaborated in a vast swatch of political sermons, tracts, plays, pamphlets, and prints. The Jesuit was a puppet of the Counter-Reformation papacy and a tool of the King of Spain, a crafty dissembler, constantly dreaming up treasonous schemes to subvert states and assassinate divinely anointed princes and monarchs. Fatal and ominous to all well-governed commonwealths, was also a loyal servant of Lucifer, a chief instrument in his eternal struggle to uphold the tottering anti-Christian kingdom and to enlarge his infernal dominion of hell, one endowed with almost superhuman powers to seduce the country. He was the Spain of the old serpent, under those gilded, secretive and underhand activities of all Romish locusts and promiscuous caterpillar became the locus or the focus for renewed hostility whenever events seriously jeopardized the religious and political stability of Stuart England. As a Jesuit reprobated is the child of sin, who, being born for the service of the devil, cares not what villainy does in the world. He is always in a maze, for his course are ever out of order, and while his will stands for wisdom, the best that falls out of him is a fool. He betrays the trust of the simple and sucks out the blood of the innocent. His death is the fume of blasphemy, and his tongue the firebrand of hell. His desires are the destruction of the venturous. His delights are the traps to damnation. He bathes on the blood of murder, must be martyr, and sups up the broth of iniquity, plots, conspiracies, and all manner of mischief are the chiefest time of his studies. The frighteneth, the eries of the guilty, or of the godly, and disturbeth the hearts of the religious. He marreth the wits of the wise, and is hateful to the souls of the gracious. In summing, he is the inhumane creature, fearful companion, a monster, and a devil, incarnate, therefore, to be quite packed out of this our England to his own proper center, to whore of Rome, reference list, and then it gives us a link. Below is a recent video of Arturo Sosa, also known as the Black Pope, the superior general of the Jesuit order and leader of the international cult that controls the Vatican, Freemason, Illuminati, and the United Nations. Right there. Cardinal Cesarni ordains 20 Jesuits from 15 countries as Italy comes out of coronavirus lockdown below. Okay. Now, if you want to read this stuff, I'll let it sit there. You can look it up for yourself. But there's Yahoo News. Oh, that's nothing. That's a pork recall and a Coke recall, which I stopped drinking Coke because they're just as evil. This here is Rockefeller. How John D. Rockefeller took control of the medical school system. Right there he is. Who is the real Anthony Fauci? Will please stand up. This man, look at his freaking face. You know, he has that Cheshire grin, or he has like that, crappy ass smile. From ear to ear, every time he talks, the man makes me sick. I don't like him. I don't even, Biden, I can't stand. These people are liars. And I think the reason why he was with the new Prime Minister of Israel is because they owe him something. The Catholic owes them. So Israel using the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church is evil. And we will show you something else. You need to look this guy up, because Oscar L. Blue, I was watching his thing the other day, and that about the migrants that are still coming over here. Now they're going to let the disabled and the elderly, the feeble, and the LGBTQs are going to be able to come in here and they're going to be exonerated. And there's a reason for that. They want to get rid of the people that can't be slaves, and that is true. That's the way the Rockefellers work. That's the way all them work. If we can't work, hell with you. That's what they want. They'll kill you. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Because I don't want to be here. I don't want to see what everybody's all hyped up on seeing. I don't want to see people dying. And I might have to, but I don't want to see it. But right here is who is Sheikh Esraf Effendi. This guy here is down there at the southern border of Tapachula, or of I can't remember what the country is, but it's right on the southern border of Mexico. This guy here is going to talk to the head of the state there, the president, and all that other stuff about peace and love and all the Jewish people and everybody should get along. And he's also going to come to this country and he's going to talk to Biden and them people too. This man is a Islamic sheikh. He's from Islam, or I'm not sure. I think he's from Iran. Yeah, Iran. I think he's a Sunni Muslim. But you need to look him up because you can't find too much on this man. It's usually videos and stuff, and it's weird. But another thing I wanted to tell you is that the people that took the vax, they're mad because we aren't, because they feel guilty. I think that's the reason. And now they're trying to pit them against us. But, my daughter did. And she tried to scare me into thinking, because somebody's supposedly dying of the so-called diseases. But she had to say the doctor says he's going to die. Well, when God calls me, he calls me. That's it. That's it. I mean, he's the one that chooses whether I live or die. And evidently he doesn't want me to die right now. I've talked some of my family into not doing it, which is good, and I hope they keep it up. But I can only do so much with people because money talks and bullshit. You know what it does. So, sorry for swearing, but hey, like I said before, sometimes people have to see the frickin' thing hit them right in the frickin' head. And whether it's bad or good, that's the way some people see it, and that's the only way they're going to frickin' realize the factor. But, yeah, look this guy up here. Because I got a feeling this is going to be a freaking long ride here. But, yeah, and also I wanted to tell you that Dr. Fauci was also back with the AIDS crisis and debacled that, which I think this whole thing that they made up as a similar thing to what the AIDS crisis was. It has, it put fear into people. Only the fear wasn't as strong. But it put a lot of fear into people to keep away from those people. And now this one has the same properties as the AIDS virus, the T cells, the immune system, the antibodies and stuff. And now they're talking that it's okay to take the organs from the people with AIDS and use them, which is a big fat lie. Don't fall for it. They want you to die. If the probably tried to transplant one on me, and they ain't letting them. Because God gave me my organs, I still have them all. Every last bit. But there are people that are out there because of this virus, which I think was because of the ventilators, are looking for a lung transplant. That's stupid. Lung transplant. But most of those people that get that stuff are the rich people. Poor people don't get that stuff. So don't expect any freaking miracles from that. You just have to find God and find Him fast, because time's running out. And there are times when I don't want to believe it, but I just see it more and more and more. And when I found that stuff on Fauci, it had nothing to do with it. I didn't even ask or prompt it for Jesuit, but it ended up where it did. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and YouTube will probably give me a strike because I said Dr. Fauci's a Frankenstein, but he's also Dr. Jekyll, So with that said, God bless everybody, and people, it's like the old saying goes, you need to put the fear of God into people, not into the fear of some stupid thing that they made up or they invented. So God bless you all, and Jesus does love you, and I pray that peace will be with you. Like I said in my other video, my other channel, when this started, is to cover your door with lamb's blood, not in real, but just remember, But anyway, God bless everybody, peace and love, and I hope you enjoyed this little rant and Machine Monkey. I had this sitting there, but he inspired me to do it because something told me to do it. So here, this is what it was, and we'll see what else happens. I don't know, but God bless, and we'll see you all later.